Namaste again, my beautiful queens. This is a second part of the video, which is called He Appears, He Disappears. Why he does that? He hot, he cold. Why he does that? Please watch the first part of the video, which I am going to link under this video. Please do not miss that information, because that information can save your life, if not life, your health, your well-being, your your heart, your soul, your years of wasting and suffering and being in pain. Please watch the first part. So in this part I will show you also the cards, which can help you so much if you just have a deck with you, whether you can read cards or you cannot. This will show you what, if you see these cards in the question, who am I dealing with, or what are his true intentions with me, and you see any of those cards, you have to be extremely careful. So this is the second part. We already discussed how he comes back unexpectedly, how you meet, how you start to date. Everything seems to be all right. Everything is fine, and then he disappears. In some of your cases, he does it constantly. I had a client whose so-called soulmate, she called him somehow, did it 4 times. He disappears, then he appears, she takes him back, he disappears. It lasted for 4 times. And in the first part, I have already explained you how and why they disappear, and how they come back, and why, the most important, I explain why you are taking them back instead of sending him to hell where he belongs. So here is the second part, where I will give additional information. My biggest gratitude to Anna Baginska in her work of manipulation and being victim of manipulators, and how to deal with it. So we now put together this situation where he disappeared. You were hoping, you were dreaming about him, you were thinking about him, you were fantasizing about him coming back. You were watching all these videos. Will he come back? Will he come back? There is no connection. What are his feelings? Terrible things was happening, called codependency, because the more you are thinking about a person, the more you are dreaming about him, the more you invest in your emotions, and the more you create a terrifying word, which is called codependency, and the more tougher it's to get out of it. You are giving more power to the manipulator, giving him more power over you. So when he suddenly decides to come back, all he has to do, I already explained in previous video, he can send you a text message like nothing at all happened. What's up, what's going on? Or he can send you a video with a song, very popular thing they do, or a picture of a place where you've been having dinner together, or something like that. I already explained in the first part. Many of them don't even have to do that. In a time of social media, he makes very sad selfie of himself and puts it on social media, and sometimes just selfie. Sometimes the word like love hurts. We only realize what treasure we had when we lose it, or I knew your face before I knew your eyes. That's it. And now each one of his victims, including you, thinking that this is for you and only for you. And manipulators simply just waiting for the result. In this case, when they do that, what is it done? Why this tactic is done? The only thing this is done is to make you believe that while he was gone from face of earth, while he completely vanished, didn't explain you anything, didn't tell you anything, he was just gone, like alien kidnapped him. He just have to show you and make you believe that he was thinking about you, that he was suffering, so he was missing you, he was thinking of you. And in this case, it's even easier. He doesn't even have to contact you personally, but he does this social media trick, and you are yourself, you contacting him. You do it yourself. You are running back to the arms of a devil, and not only that, as I said in my previous video, you are happy that the devil is back to bring you, more pain and more suffering. This is the reality. So what happens next? What happens next? Especially, I explained in the first part, covert narcissist light, so-called the most dangerous. This would be covert narcissist light, and this would be covert narcissist light. Those are the most significant cards. These 3 cards are most significant. I would say 4. These 4 cards are most significant. Covert narcissist light, the scariest of them all, who can wear masks and who can act and who can make God himself believe whatever they want him to believe, or I'd say that they can convince anyone in anything, make anyone believe anything. The most often victims of covert narcissists are professional psychologists and psychiatrists, believe it or not. They are that good at their very skilled manipulation. Also, covert narc acts like a man sent from above, a man sent as a answer to your prayer, Prince Charming. They are unbelievably intellectual, unbelievably charismatic, unbelievably skilled in what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know how to do it. They know how to press on your buttons. They know how to pull all your strings. Without the knowledge of how they usually behave, it's very hard to determine them. But if you ask the cards, who am I dealing with? Who is this man? And you get especially these 2 7 of swords, the devil and the magician, especially magician in reverse position. In upright position, still this is a skilled manipulator, but especially be careful in reverse position. And the moon card, these 4 cards will tell you covert narcissist light, the scariest one of them all. So what happens next when you get him back? So what he expects from you, what reaction he expects from you. Usually what happens, you do exactly what a manipulator wants from you. So you find, after he comes back, after his disappearance from face of earth, you find the reasons to forgive him. You find the reasons to put the blame onto yourself, that it was all your fault he disappears. You find the reasons to forgive him and get him back. Now, thing is done. This is done. It makes me laugh bitterly and sadly, that most of the time the manipulator tells you that he was suffering. He tells you that he was trying to forget you, but he failed. Ha, 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 3 times. But in some cases, he would not even bother to even tell you that he was suffering, he was thinking about you. Why? You will get him back without even him explaining himself, because you have already found all the excuses for him. You already convinced yourself, be careful, that from now on, everything will be different. Now listen to me carefully. You convince yourself that now he understood everything. He became awakened. He realized everything. He realized you were the best thing in his life. Nobody loved me like you. No one in the whole world is like you. You're so unique. How could I be such an idiot? How could I lose you? Devil, magician, Seven of Swords. Especially in reverse position, but even upright position. Those covered, because those are very scaring and very terrifying, but those at least act nasty and mean. They hurt you with their words, they hurt you with their actions. Why women are staying with those is above me. This I don't understand. Because they're not afraid to hurt. They enjoy your pain. You're crying and he doesn't care. They hurt you with their actions. They hurt you with their words. They hurt you sometimes physically, mostly emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And you still staying. Oh, this I understand much less. This is beyond my understanding. But here, those you don't know. You still believe, it makes you believe. So you convince yourself that, now he's awake and he realized something, he understood something. Unfortunately, this is not true. This will not last. All just will start between you two again, like it was at the beginning, when you just met, and then after he has what he wants from you, your resource, because to a narcissist, covert narcissist especially, you are not a woman. You are not a human being. You are a resource of what he needs. For example, wolf needs to eat. Wolf meets sheep. You are a sheep, he is a wolf, as simple as that. But the sheep is not going to let the wolf eat her without a certain manipulation when you're dealing with this. So when he gets what he needs, he's going to be gone again. He's going to be gone again. And you are going to start the circle all over again. It must be me. It must have been me. Well, maybe I need to lose weight. Maybe I need to have a boob job. Maybe I need to become smarter. Maybe he got scared. I get this terrifying excuse. Terrifying because it's such a lie. He got scared of his feelings. He had so many feelings that he got scared and disappeared. Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. Or he's afraid to open his heart, and then you start all over again. You're sitting there thinking about him, blaming yourself, trying to find what you could have done differently to make him stay. What can you change in yourself to make him stay? And you start watching again those videos. Will we get married by the end of the year? Will he come back? Does he really love me? Yeah, and so on. Like that. Start the new circle. You start wasting your life, you start wasting your time, your heart, up to the point when you make yourself physically ill. Why he does that? Why he does that? Why he appears, disappears, and then appears and disappears? The answer is simple. Your resource. He needs something from you, and he appears again in your life. Because many of you ask this question, but if he doesn't love me, if he doesn't need me, if he doesn't want me, why is he not just gone? Why he suddenly come back and then he's gone and he comes back again if he doesn't feel nothing to me? Because You are resource of what he needs. He only comes back when he needs something from you. The sooner you understand it, the better. And having a little deck of tarot can save your life, because you can pull those cards and know who you're dealing with, because covert narcissist light can act and wear masks up to several years. And you're going to be thinking that you are crazy, but card will show you. If you're not sure, get a reading with me. Get a reading with somebody else on the psychic website. Many websites do the readings under $10. Of course, if you know, they're going to tell you the truth. And of course, if you get those also can play Prince Charming. And this is the Narcissist, a little easier than Narcissist covert, but nothing good as well he's playing. Those two will not just play with you, but also enjoy when you suffer. 5 of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Page of Swords. So, next, what I will explain you. What are the main resources man comes back to you? Anna Baginska talked about mainly 3. I could add a little more. What it can be he needs from you. Easy. Sex, number 1. Sexual satisfaction. He needs sex. Number 2. Emotions, feelings, energy. Number 3. Material things, any material things, money, your business connections, your private connections, your influence in specific circle with specific people that he might need from you. From my own experience, I can tell you, because I had seen it too often, non-material things which can turn into profits, so-called intellectual properties, your gifts, your talents, your knowledge in specific area, or your knowledge of specific businesses, or specific maybe even esoteric subjects, your ideas, especially if he's working in an industry where he constantly need ideas and you're just having mountains of them, your ideas he needs, your creativity he needs. I will give you an example of a woman who believed she was a twin flame, and the story lasted for 6 years. A true story. A woman lived in America, he was in China. So what happens? She wrote him, he was a musician. She wrote him absolutely beautiful poetry, and she would send him this poetry. Because she does not speak Chinese, what he did, he took her poetry and also her ideas. She would give him lots of ideas, how to, what subjects like to write, I don't know, to talk about in interviews or whatever, what books to read. Anyway, she was very skilled, very intellectual, very deep. So, but mainly what happened is she sent him poetry. He would take her poetry, her points, he would translate it into Chinese and put it on music. He did not, she had no idea, because she doesn't speak Chinese. She would send him a poetry, once a week or twice a week. He would take it, he would translate it, he would make it into a song. The songs would become hits. He would make tons of money. She didn't receive a penny, exactly 0, for anything she had written. In 6 years, she was clueless. She was clueless because she didn't know his language. When she found out several years later, he was making huge money on her talent. It was, of course, a very painful thing, extremely painful. So he can also use that in you, the narc manipulator. So if he came back into your life, it means, as for today, he has a lack of one of the resources. Okay, sex or ideas or energy or your feeling or your emotion. Now, sex, that's funniest thing. Also explanation of Anna Baginska. So she says, like, imagine this. So at the moment, he might not have a partner, sexual partner. He's just at home. He's too tired or he's too lazy to get a new victim on the hook. Or nothing too interesting, too exciting is around him, so he hadn't seen nothing exciting lately, worthy of his royal time. So he just finds the easiest way to solve his problem. He gets back with one of his exes. Also, it's much easier to get what he wants from someone he already has on the hook than someone new. No, he has to work with someone new to have them on a hook. He already have you on a hook. It's much easier for him. So this is approximately how it happens. So he's alone at home. He's bored. He wants some fun. He wants some sex. He makes a selfie on his social media with a very sad eyes, saying love hurts, and waits for reaction, and then reaction is gonna follow. Those who react, they're gonna personally text him and ask him, how have you been? Or he can send this selfie with sad eyes or a sad song to 5, 10, 20 of them, and just answer to whoever's gonna answer first. You get his message, you get his message in your phone, and what happened to you this moment? This moment you believe he has true feelings to you. Oh, you think to yourself, he remembers me. Oh, I knew he remembers me. I knew he is the one. When in the fact, you have just been manipulated. Next, he might need emotions, feelings, and energy. Before I continue, I will explain you 3 types of victims the manipulator has. Every manipulator, narcissist, covert narc, have usually 3 types of victims, and please pay attention to number 3. God forbid you're one of them, because among my subscribers I had seen them. Number 1. Usually the type of a victim he's currently working on. With this one, he's playing the God-sent man, a prince charming, a dream man. He's not using her just yet at a maximum level. He's getting her slowly. He has to get her on a hook. Number 2, the victim he's using now. Right now, from this victim, he's getting his maximum satisfaction. He is getting from her all he needs or wants at the moment. So second category of covert narcissist manipulation, this victim which he fully uses at the moment, he enjoys the most. So why he enjoys this the most? Because with this one, he's on the top of his emotions. He fully enjoys this game. He enjoys the feeling of his full power over you, of the victim. He enjoys just pulling your strings and having you reacting exactly as he wants or expects. But the longer he gets exactly the reaction he wants, okay, the sooner he gets bored. Then when he gets bored, he's just gonna disappear. If he gets reaction which he doesn't expect, he gets more excited. So he tries to use different types of manipulation to make you react the way he wants, to make you give him what he wants, how he wants. But sooner or later, any puppet, with any puppet he gets bored. Any puppet is getting boring. So when he gets bored, he disappears, but he disappears without any explanation. In the first video I explained why he disappears without explanation. He can come back several months later, or he can come back once a year if the game gave him enough pleasure. Number 2, victims very often, I would say that the category which they have the most often. Now, please pay attention. The third category And the scariest one, the category which is the most tragic one. Anna Baginskaya called them the one on a cross. And I absolutely agree with this. Category number 3, please pay attention. This one considers him, this beast, she considers him her only true love. She considers him her eternal love, true soulmate, or some of you call them the one, or all gods and forces help me. Some of you think this is your twin flame. Please, I am begging you, pay attention. If you match this category, this one is the most tragic one. The most tragic one, the one on the cross. The most tragic one, because this one can last for years, for 20 years. So this category forgives anything and everything. This one stays faithful to him as forever. She stays at dust at his feet forever, for years, sometimes for dozens of years. Usually as a person, as a personality, as a person, as a woman, she's not interesting for him at all. Manipulator is not getting a kick from this one. He gets a kick from a woman who he needs to, he needs to make her a puppet. And the more difficult it is to make her a puppet, the more kicks he gets from it. But this one, he doesn't care about, he doesn't care about nobody. But this one as a person is not interesting for him. She's not interesting for the manipulator at all. But when there is such a period in life, when the whole world is against him, the things are not going the way he wants them to go. So he's somehow sad, he's upset, he's depressed, he's down. He will remember you. He will remember the third category, the one on a cross, we call it. I just saw the comments of one of the ones like this in one of my posts. The one on the cross. Why he will come back to her? Because she demands nothing. She says these horrific words. I want nothing from you. My love to you is unconditional. Come when you want. Wipe your feet. Walk all over me. My love to you is unconditional. I will be in your life forever. I will stay with you forever. I will support you forever. I will love you even if you kill children in the morning and drain their blood. Girls, the scariest, the most terrifying category of the victims of manipulator, the one on the cross. So, she demands nothing. She will always be there for him. To feel sorry for him, to calm him down, to convince him he's an angel, to convince him he's the best, that she believes in him, she believes in the best in him, she believes in his light, she will tell him how wonderful he really is, that she's the only one who sees how wonderful he is really. Wonderful devil, huh? Wonderful Seven of Swords, or maybe wonderful moon or a magician, or maybe wonderful guy like this who holds the swords of the enemies he's just killed, or maybe wonderful this or wonderful this. Seriously, girls. And she demands nothing. She always will be there for him, to feel sorry for him, to calm him down, to convince him he's an angel, he's the best. And she will tell him how much she loves him, that she will always be there for him, that her love to him is unconditional. This is a tragedy. Every time he comes back, she thinks this time he finally woke up. Every time he comes back, she thinks this time he finally woke up. This time he finally understood everything. This time he realized everything. that she was the best ever happened to him. From now on, life will be shining with all the beautiful colors. No, girls, it will not be so. This is a tragedy of this. He did not change. He cannot change. A snake stays a snake. He understood nothing. He just came to satisfy his sick ego, to rise his self-esteem, his self-worth at your expense. Such a victim makes him feel extremely good. So he can say to himself, wow, I'm so cool. She's so beautiful. She's so smart. She could have any man, but she still loves me. She's still waiting for me. What a gem I am. The last victim can wait for him for years, even dozens of years, because she's convinced he's her true one. And one day he will wake up. What a tragedy. What a tragedy, my beautiful queens. I have to finish this video, and I'm sorry if it's gonna cut suddenly. I didn't tell you everything yet. I will continue and tell you about category 4 of a victim called support and or a source. But it will be enough for you to really understand the man who disappears, appears, and disappears what he wants. If you ask his true intentions or his true feelings, I will show you the cards. If you are being lied to and manipulated, 10 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 8 of Swords, you are being manipulated, you are being lied to, 3 of Swords, of course, the Tower, the 5 of Cups, you are being manipulated, twisted, and lied to, 2 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles would describe the last category I just told you, third most tragic one, the one which is on the cross. She's waiting for him to open the door. 4 of Cups, the Hangman, and the 9 of Swords. I hope some of you will be able to change your life and to stop being a victim. There are many wonderful men out there. According to research, minimum 8%, maximum 20% of manipulators, narcissists, all kinds of psychopaths. There are wonderful men out there. You just need to get rid of this one and then to meet a wonderful one. Namaste.